Scott Eastwood was born with one of the most iconic surnames in cinema history. The son of Clint Eastwood, a man who didn't just star in westerns. He buried them, then resurrected them with soul. But Scott didn't want to ride his father's horse. He wanted to break his own trail, and the truth is, it wasn't easy. Behind the chiseled jaw, the action hero roles, and the Fast and Furious fame, lies a story of loss, rejection, and quiet perseverance, a journey few ever saw coming. This is the story not of a Hollywood prince, but of a man who had to earn his place one hard knock at a time. Scott Reeves Eastwood was born on March 21, 1986, in Monterey, California, the son of Clint Eastwood and flight attendant Jaslyn Reeves. He grew up in the quiet hills of Caramel, not in Beverly Hills mansions, but on his father's ranch, mending fences, riding horses, and learning the Eastwood code. Work hard, stay humble. Never ask for favors. Yes, he had access, but access isn't the same as acceptance. When Scott decided to act, his father didn't hand him a lead role. He gave him a tiny part in Gran Torino as a snobby neighbor A's son and told him, "If you're going to do this, you do it right." No shortcuts, and so began a decade of rejection, bit parts, and unpaid gigs while the world whispered, "Nepo baby." He worked as a ranch hand, took night classes, slept on couches, auditioned for roles his famous name couldn't guarantee, and for years, nothing stuck. In 2014, everything changed. Scott landed a role in Fury, David Ayer's brutal World War II tank drama, starring Brad Pitt. He played Sergeant Miles, a young soldier thrown into hell. Critics noticed. Audiences remembered his face. Hollywood finally saw him not just as Clint's son, but as an actor with grit. Roles poured in. Snowden, 2016, as a loyal NSA operative. The Fate of the Furious, 2017, as Little Nobody, part of the Fast family. Pacific Rim Uprising, 2018, leading a sci-fi blockbuster. It looked like smooth sailing, but behind the scenes, Scott was grieving. In 2004, when Scott was just 18 years old, his younger sister, Jewel Eastwood, his half-sister from his mother's side, died in a car accident at age 16. The crash happened near their home in California. Jewel was a bright, artistic teenager full of life. Gone in an instant. Scott rarely speaks of it, but friends say he shut down for months. Threw himself into work not for fame, but to outrun the pain. Even as his career rose, Scott faced a different kind of battle, the shadow. Every review mentioned his father. Every interview asked, "Is Clint proud?" Every casting director wondered, did he get this because of who he is? In 2015, he turned down a major studio offer that came with one condition. Say your dad helped you get it. He walked away. Took a smaller role in an indie film instead. Because to Scott, integrity mattered more than exposure. He didn't just want to look the part, he wanted to live it. He trained with Navy SEALs, learned combat tactics. Spent weeks on military bases. Why? Because he knew, if he was going to honor these stories, he had to respect them. Today, Scott Eastwood is more than a face in a franchise. He's a producer, a philanthropist, and a man quietly building a legacy of his own. He's spoken openly about mental health, about how losing Jewel taught him that grief doesn't fade. You just learn to carry it. He's also become a voice for veterans, drawing from his roles in Fury and The Outpost, a film based on the true story of a Green Beret ambush in Afghanistan. In The Outpost, Scott didn't just play a hero. He played a man terrified, outmatched, but refusing to quit. And critics called it his best performance yet, not because of his jawline, but because of his soul. Scott Eastwood didn't escape his father's shadow by running from it. He walked through it head high, heart open, work in hand, until he stood in his own light. He's not Clint Eastwood 2.0. He's Scott Eastwood, a man shaped by tragedy, forged by discipline, and driven by a quiet need to honor the people he's lost, by living fully for those still here. If this story of resilience moved you, please like, subscribe, and join us at Buzz of Legends, where we don't just chase fame. We uncover the human truth behind it. Next time, Francesca Eastwood growing up Eastwood in the age of social media. Until then, remember, the strongest legacies aren't inherited. They're built.